Denmark, the country with the lowest poverty rate in the world. Let's discover how and why Denmark holds the title of having the fewest poor people in the world. This country could be the answer to solving the major problem of poverty affecting many developing countries because Denmark, Sweden, and Norway have the lowest poverty rates in the world. So let's explore how they manage this. In theory, communism says that nobody can be rich, capitalism says that anyone can be rich, and socialism advocates that nobody should be poor. Although this is a simplification, it's the main idea. Each form of government has its problems, especially when there are dictators or abuse of wealth. Let's set communism aside. We know it doesn't work. The idea here is to have a country that doesn't adhere to a single type of government, but rather a mix of all. All the positive aspects of any form of government are adopted, while the negative ones are discarded. That's exactly what they did in this country. In Denmark, it's obvious to say that they're not socialists. They follow something called social responsibility. This means that the government prioritizes the welfare and development of citizens, and economic development and prosperity follow as a consequence. Anyone can start a business doing whatever they want as long as they don't exploit workers. Denmark describes itself as a place where very few people have excess and even fewer go hungry. They have a minimum wage of $15 per hour for a 33-hour work week, and they also offer a universal healthcare system similar to Canada's and tuition-free higher education. But it doesn't stop there. They even pay up to $900 per week to university students. They have the best retirement system in the world and are the least corrupt country for 5 consecutive years. Daycares are subsidized. Parents pay 30% to 10% of the cost, and the rest is the government's responsibility. You must be wondering where the money comes from to pay for all this. Well, in life, nothing is free. Unlike most Latin American governments that consider poverty as something inevitable, as a permanent part of society, Denmark sees poverty as something outdated, something that belongs to the past and doesn't need to exist today. The country maintains its economic growth, infrastructure development, and free market, but not at the expense of exploiting a lower class. This means that this lower class doesn't need to exist. Maslow's hierarchy of needs describes human needs at different levels. At the base are basic needs like air, water, sleep, shelter, and reproduction. If these needs are not met, it's hard to focus on higher levels. Next come personal security needs like employment, resources, health, and avoiding crime. Then social needs like love, friendship, intimacy, family, and acceptance. Then we have self-esteem, respect, status, and recognition. At the top is self-actualization, the desire to become the best version of oneself. Danish society, with its comprehensive social services, focuses on meeting basic needs, allowing people to concentrate on developing their full potential. This means that with basic needs met, people can focus on reaching higher levels in the hierarchy instead of worrying about essentials. The average Dane can concentrate on developing their full potential. With only 5.6 million inhabitants, Denmark has 13 Nobel Prize winners, one of the highest per capita averages in the world. Discovering and developing one's full potential is not just about having a good job, but about finding true happiness. In most Latin American or third world countries, success is often measured only by monthly income and higher education or the car a person owns. In Denmark, the difference lies in people's mentality. True success should be measured by one's physical and mental health. How many sports you enjoy practicing, how many places you've visited with friends or loved ones, how many hobbies you've learned and shared, how many friends you've supported or gone out dancing and laughing with, and your spiritual development, peace, and mental health. Success also involves giving your children their favorite food so that even when they're away, they remember your love with every meal. Having a full wallet is good, yes, but the heart must also be full of joy. We need both. In reality, the government supports stress-related absenteeism, which is valid and legal. If you don't have enough to cover your basic expenses, they'll support you for up to 2 years. This contrasts with online ads seeking stress-immune employees. However, there's a risk we can't ignore: laziness. Some people may abuse it if they receive help. Such a system can only work if there's a strong culture of ethics and honest work throughout the population. Without that, nothing works. Now the question is, would this work in other countries? The answer depends on each person. If the government gave you all the tools to progress, would you stop working or continue striving to progress on your own? And what about the people around you? What would they do if they received everything from the government? That's the key answer here. The main aid here isn't simply giving something. It's teaching to fish and providing the fishing rod. The government helps low-income and uneducated people by offering university or vocational programs with support for expenses. This isn't a loan. It's support that doesn't need to be repaid. Additionally, the government connects these people with companies in their areas of study, encouraging them to progress in the industry. preventing them from stagnating or constantly changing jobs without reaching a good position. This contributes to the Danish economy. Education is free for Danish, EU immigrant students, and even for students with temporary residences. The goal is to prepare people so they never need to depend on charity, although it's available if needed. In other words, this country is carefully designed in all aspects of administration to provide its citizens with everything they need to develop, learn, work, and achieve prosperity. Surprisingly, when citizens are ready, the government encourages reducing working hours, suggesting they spend more time enjoying with their families. It's one of the few countries where the government itself encourages people to work less. This is unusual elsewhere, but here it seems to be because it's one of the least corrupt countries. This is due to the great freedom of the press, an independent judiciary system, and a high standard of integrity and honesty for both public officials and business owners, whether small or large. Danes in general believe in each person's strong responsibility to work and pay taxes. They value contributing to pension plans for the elderly, preparing young people, caring for the sick, and supporting newly arrived immigrants. If someone is unemployed, they receive support for up to 2 years, but they also make sure they're looking for work or training. The approach is a combination of support without incentivizing laziness. In Denmark, both the company owner and the cleaner can go to work together by bus, bicycle, or on foot. Social classes coexist without stigma or insult. Nobody is judged for having friends or close relationships with people of lower incomes. Unlike Latin America, where there's often an insatiable quest to visually display differences in financial status. If you decide to visit Denmark, you'll see more bicycles than cars, especially on the way to work. Even high-income Danish professionals choose this option. In the city's main arteries, there are several exclusive lanes for pedestrians and bicycles. Danes have a strong mentality that no one is better than anyone else. It's like an unofficial law in Danish mentality and culture that dictates you shouldn't feel more valuable or smarter than anyone else, regardless of their origin, position, economic status, or appearance. In summary, the Danish government offers a wide range of social services, including healthcare, education, and affordable housing. This means that even in low-income situations, citizens can access high-quality basic services without fear of medical bankruptcy or lack of educational opportunities. Despite economic difficulties, low-income Danes often benefit from government-funded training and education programs to improve their job prospects. Although the country has managed to maintain a high standard of living for most of its citizens, it continues to work on addressing economic inequalities and ensuring that all Danes, regardless of their income, can enjoy a good quality of life. If you liked the video, leave your like and comment, and don't forget to activate the notification bell to always be notified of new videos. See you in the next video.